I've been around the world, man. I've met all kinds of people, sat with all kinds of faiths, and I've heard a lot of folks talk about Islam, especially when it comes to women. And I'm going to be real with you. For a long time, I believed what I heard. I thought Muslim women were silenced, that they couldn't speak, couldn't dream, couldn't be free. I saw the news, the movies, the headlines, and they all painted the same picture. Islam is oppressive. Islam is backwards. Islam keeps women in chains.
But you know what I learned? The loudest people are usually the ones who never took the time to actually listen. Because when I sat down and really started learning what this faith says, not what the news says, not what the internet says, but what the book says and how Muslims live, man, I realized something. We've been lied to. Islam didn't come to put women down. It came to lift them up when the world had buried them. Before Islam, women in Arabia had no value. If a baby was born a girl, they'd bury her alive, because she was seen as a burden. And here comes Islam saying that girl's life is sacred, her dignity untouchable, her worth equal to any man. The more I learned, the more I was like, wait a minute. They had that figured out 1,400 years ago. Islam gave women rights the world is still fighting for today. The right to own property, the right to education, the right to choose who to marry, the right to keep her own last name and her own money, the right to divorce a man if he mistreats her. America didn't give women full property rights until the 1800s. Britain waited just as long. Islam gave that in the 7th century. Then I learned about Khadija, the Prophet Muhammad's wife, a powerful, wealthy businesswoman who hired him and supported him when the world turned its back. Oppressed? That's power. Aisha was a scholar who taught men law, science, theology. People traveled countries to learn from her. Fatima al-Fihri, a Muslim woman, founded the world's first university. That's when I realized we've been fed a false story. The truth is, the world doesn't hate Islam because it disrespects women. It hates Islam because it protects them. Islam says you can't use her body for money, can't disrespect mothers, can't treat women like trophies, can't abandon your family. That doesn't sit well with a society that profits off insecurity and broken homes. Islam says a woman is honored, sacred, enough, and that hit me hard. Islam doesn't say men and women are the same. It says they are equal in value, different in design, and complementary. It commands men to protect, provide, and lead with kindness. It commands women to be honored and respected, and the Prophet said, "The best of you are those best to their wives." You can pray all day, but if you mistreat your wife, you're nothing. That's Islam. People judge Islam by Muslims who don't follow Islam. Cultures oppress women and then blame the religion. Ignorance wearing a religious mask is not Islam. Islam says a woman must agree to marriage. Islam requires a man to give her a mahr, her financial security, and he has no right to her money. She doesn't owe him her paycheck, her cooking, or housework. The Prophet himself helped in the home. That's real leadership. When I visited Muslim families, I saw peace, order, dignity. Not fear, not oppression. Women who walk with dignity, men who carry responsibility, girls growing up protected, not exploited. Meanwhile, in the West, women are told they're free but judged constantly, used for marketing, pressured into impossible standards. That's not freedom, that's manipulation. Islam says a woman's value is in her soul, not her looks. And when I learned Muslim women keep their last name, have financial independence, have legal rights many Western women only gained recently, it shocked me. The real issue is that empowered women can't be easily controlled or sold. Islam creates strong women who raise strong generations, women who don't compromise their worth, women who know being loved by God is better than being liked by strangers. I worked in Hollywood. I've seen how this world exploits women. Islam protects them in ways the modern world refuses to. Islam restored rights that humanity had stripped away. And if someone mistreats a woman, don't blame Islam, blame the man who abandoned Islam. Real Islam honors women, elevates mothers, teaches men accountability. Islam commands education for both men and women. Early Muslim women were scholars, poets, leaders. The problem isn't the religion, it's the people who misuse it. The world tells women freedom means showing more skin, but corporations profit off that. Islam says you don't have to sell your body to have worth. You don't have to compete with men to have value. God already gave you value. Real freedom is being owned by no one but God. That's power. Islam teaches that motherhood is honor, modesty is dignity, and womanhood is not weakness but divine strength. The Prophet said, "Paradise lies beneath the feet of mothers." A religion that places women above men 3 times before mentioning a father is not oppressive. And this changed my whole view. Islam didn't just honor women, it held men accountable. A man will be questioned on Judgment Day about how he treated his wife and family. That's a level of responsibility the modern world avoids. Islam doesn't say women must become like men to be powerful. It says women are already powerful. They are the heart of the home, the builders of generations, the foundation of stability. Society tricked women into believing motherhood is weakness, and modesty is oppression. But Islam gave both divine value. A good wife, a good mother, those roles take strength. Anyone can chase money, but building a family takes character, and Islam honors that. A man can enter paradise by treating his wife well, being patient, providing, protecting, honoring her. Women were buried alive before Islam. Islam gave them rights 1,400 years ago: inheritance, voice, education, choice, honor. If you see injustice today, that's culture, not Islam. Don't judge Islam by Muslims, judge Muslims by Islam. Islam needs women. They are the backbone of faith. When a woman prays, she brings light into a home. When she's honored, she becomes a blessing. So if someone says Islam oppresses women, tell them to look again, look deeper, because the truth has been there all along. And once you see it, you can't unsee it.